Glad you could join us now on our first story. 2 people passed, with 1 more feared dead after sustaining burn injuries from the Trinity oil gas explosion in Kumasi in the Ashanti region Tuesday. The dead 37-year-old Collins Obing and 68-year-old man, identified only as John, were among those who were sent to the Kofanoti Teaching Hospital, CAF. 3 people were sent to CAF and 9 others to the Tafo Government Hospital after sustaining severe injuries in the explosion. Now, the National Disaster Management Organization has blamed delayed action by regulatory bodies for Tuesday's accident, and that's causing the fire in Kumasi. NADMO says its recommendation for the closure of the Trinity gas station as Kofrom were not heeded.
At least 12 people, one of them a security person at the gas station, reportedly sustained various degrees of injury in the inferno. About 8 vehicles parked on the premises of the filling station were ravaged by fire. Other shops sitting close to the station were burnt down. Intervention of volunteers prevented the fire from spreading to a kindergarten which shares a fence wall with the gas station. Here is owner of the school.
Before the thing occurred, all the staffs draw all the children to a far distance from the school. So God so good, none of them were being hurted.
Residents suspect repair work being done on some pumps at the station caused the fire.
We were in our room, we were preparing for work, and I had said, car be here. We thought it was an aeroplane, and I said, car be. So my mother told me, said, we should run. Now, gas leaky. This is not the first time, this is not the second time. And where we are, from our back, we could feel the heat of the fire.
We saw the gas leak, and later the fire followed. We all ran out of our homes to save our lives. The Ghana National Fire Service, after an hour, finally brought the situation under control. Assistant Chief Officer Joshua Ngwa says investigations have begun to establish real cause of the fire.
So we are currently doing investigation. We are doing salvaging and investigation. After investigation, then some of these things will come in. Currently, we've been told of people who have actually been injured. We are not happy. We are not the least happy about it. Our heart bleeds with them, with the families. But we will take our time to go through it before we talk about this place. Because as I talk to you now, I even don't know who owns this place.
Earlier this year, there was an assurance from city authorities that the Trinity oil station and other wrongly cited facilities will be closed down. The National Disaster Management Organization says it recommended a closure, which is yet to be acted upon. Kwabena Insenche is Ashanti Region Coordinator.
Yeah, I myself have been here, and I wrote to the assembly that this place is not appropriate for the gas station here, and I was waiting for a response. You know, look at the opposite side. I came there purposely to, emark that place and that they should demolish all these places. So the bottom line is on the assembly.
City Mayor Osei SB Entry acknowledges the assembly has received complaints on such station. He, however, indicates regulatory authorities are yet to submit reports on them for action.
We learned this place was supposed to be closed down. And how true is that? For now, I can't objectively respond to this question because I haven't gotten anything from EPA and the NPA and the fire now.
What is the fate of this gas filling station going forward?
The question is that I'm not a technical person. You quite remember months ago I came here with you to do the inspection, came here with you, but after the inspection everything was pushed on to the technical people among us, the entourage that came to move back and do their work and reports. And even I know on record that it's tomorrow that they will be meeting the regional minister with their reports.
Nanaya Ojima reporting.
We've been joined by Nanaya Akwanda. He's the Executive Director for the Bureau of Public Safety. Mr. Akwanda, thank you very much for joining us. In simple terms, let's try and evaluate the action by government, and by your assessment, tell us whether it's acceptable or not. We've spoken to NADMO, which says that they saw that there's a problem at that station and recommended that that station be closed down. They said we should speak to the Metropolitan Assembly, sorry. The mayor says, yes, he was aware of that. He presented a report to the technical men who have not given him a report based on which he can close the station down. Your thoughts?
Okay. I just told the sister station of how tired personally I am and how tired we are as an institution over these incidents. We were shocked at yesterday's incident, Monday's incident, because we did not expect that a station today, 2018, will be operating within the area that it was cited. Because look, after October 7th, 2017, the government issued 9-point lessons. In that, they created short to medium term actions that were going to be taken by regulatory agencies. Part of those short-term actions were the closure, an absolute closure of all stations that were operating in densely populated areas. So to start with, that facility should not have been there. And if it were there, and people have been injured and deaths recorded, someone should be held responsible. Everything you've played earlier are all excuses. There is no reason why an officer being paid with the taxpayers' money should say, I have sent a report and I'm waiting for a feedback. I believe the central government did his best by rolling out the programs that must be done. The local government has failed, and the local government should be held responsible. It's that simple. We don't need to visit all what should be done again, citing of filling stations, safety measures and safety protocols. We don't need that today. After a life has been lost and several others are battling for their lives. What we need now is heads that must roll.
And you place the blame squarely on the mayor, that is the local government.
But unless otherwise we can have any other person to place the blame on. The central government program or the plan was that let us close all filling stations that are operating in close proximity to densely populated areas. Do you know what it means, my brother, to have a filling station share a wall with a creche? It's not as if it's sited near a creche. They are sharing a wall. That is how bad it is. That is how they decided to flout, rules that have been enacted or passed as a result of hitherto a gory one happening at Atomic. So we must learn as a nation from our experiences, bitter experiences. And it blows my mind that 2019 is a big year for Ghana. As I speak to you, Ghana is now being touted as one country that has the biggest GDP growth in the whole world today. So a lot of investors are going to turn to look at our country in 2019. Is this how we want to welcome them? We bring them in here to kill them?
Now, Mr. Akwada, you refer specifically to the plans that were rolled out by government after 7th November 2017 The organization that was leading implementation of this plan was the National Petroleum Authority. They have been inspecting these stations. They are spearheading the cylinder recirculation module. Would you say they dropped the ball on their part?
I wouldn't say that, but when we talk about the local government, it entails the Petroleum Authority, it entails the Environmental Protection Agency. If you jump in there to fire the mayor and you leave all those men at NPA, EPA, and other regulatory agencies at post, you have done nothing. You must bring all of these ones to book. What we know is that there were short-term actions that were supposed to be taken. The agencies that are supposed to look and ensure that these short-term actions have been taken failed. And that is the spectacle we have been greeted with. It's a sorry sight, my brother. We have seen some of the footages, both video and picture, and it's gory.
Right, thank you, Nanaya Akwada, for joining us. He's Executive Director for the Bureau of Public Safety. We'll stay with the story a bit more because Ohiming Teria, who is with Love FM in Kumasi, has joined us on phone. He's been speaking to the Environmental Protection Agency. Ohiming, what has the EPA been telling you?
Thank you, Daniel. The Regional Director of the Environmental Protection Agency, Mr. Ngolotin, has been explaining why the EPA and NPA officials led by the Ashanti Regional Minister visited the scene today. And according to him, it is difficult, or he cannot confirm whether the prime gas station, which caught fire yesterday, has permit or not to operate. He says investigations into the activities and operations of the station have started, and that is how come today they went there to ascertain the loss, the veracity of the loss, and then they also asked the National Fire Service to also speed up investigations to establish how the fire started at the station. But the Ashanti Regional Minister, Simon Osei-Mensah, is questioning the decision of these two agencies responsible for issuance of permits and licenses to the gas station, why they went ahead to issue them with a permit. He's asking the NPA and then the Spatial and Land Use, formerly Town and Country Planning, why they went ahead to issue them licenses after he had led them to the station about 6 months ago, and that's when their licenses expired. These agencies should not renew them until they have fulfilled some requirements at their site. So he has asked that the two agencies or two authorities put into writing and explain why they did that, because on that particular tour, they were with the regional minister when he issued that particular order. Daniel.
Thank you, Ohiming, for that update on happenings in Kumasi after the gas explosion of Monday. So watching Joy News today, let's bring you back to Accra now, where the Supreme Court has upheld the presidential pardon granted radio show host and two others, saying the power of the president in this instance cannot be questioned. Now, the Supreme Court ruled by a majority decision that former President John Dramani Mahama did no wrong in granting a presidential pardon to a radio show host and two others convicted of contempt. Alistair Nelson Godwin Akogan and Sally Fumasi, aka Mugabe, who were part of a political talk show on Accra-based Montier FM, were jailed on July 27, 2016, following threats made on live radio to kill some judges whose judgments they disagreed with. They also threatened to rape the Chief Justice, then Mrs. Georgina Theodora Wood, on the same show. Now, one of them, Godwin Akogan has been elected Deputy Communications Officer of the Opposition National Democratic Congress, NDC, just last weekend. Despite a 3-month jail sentence handed by the Supreme Court, the NDC supporters were set free by then-President John Dramani Mahama on August 22, 2016, after they had served a little over 3 weeks in jail. 3 legal practitioners, Nana Santi Bedieto, Eliklim Agbemeva and Alfred Yeboah, then headed to the Apex Court asking for a declaration that the pardon granted them is null and void. So that's the latest on that matter. We'll be bringing you more in subsequent bulletins. You're still watching Joy News Today with me, Daniel Dazi. We'll be back with more. Thanks for staying with us. This is still Joy News Today. I am Daniel Dazi. We'll soon be taking you to the presidency, where the Committee of Eminent Chiefs that sat on the Dagbon chieftaincy dispute will soon be presenting the roadmap for resolution of that dispute to Mr. President Akufo-Addo. That is expected to begin in just a few minutes. So stay with us. We'll be taking you there live. In the meantime, though, construction works are earnestly underway on some of the footbridges on the Medina Denta Highway after the death of an 18-year-old student of the West Africa Senior High School on that road sparked spontaneous protests. When Joy News visited the area, construction workers were on the Redco site erecting hoardings for actual work on the footbridge to take off. At Adenta SDA Junction, where students of the Tots to Teen School children cross over dangerously to either side, newly installed traffic lights are yet to be powered. However, no work was ongoing on that footbridge at that junction. Komladum filed this report.
Meters away from this footbridge here on the Medina Denta Highway, a West Africa Senior High School student was killed on 8th November, sparking spontaneous protests and agitations among residents around here. Today, which is the 21st of November, Wednesday, something has changed on this particular highway, which wasn't the case 3 weeks ago. There have been zebra crossing markings on the road, and we have also seen barricades mounted in the median of the highway to ensure that pedestrians do not cross haphazardly. Also, we have noticed that 2 police officials have been stationed at this exact spot to aid commuters or pedestrians cross over from one side to the other. Adenta barrier, we are currently standing at Adenta SDA Junction, and for those of you who know this stretch, right across from where I stand to my left is the Tots to Teen School. Officials of the school have raised concerns about how vehicles knock down their school children and many other pedestrians along this stretch. Unlike what pertains at Adenta barrier, there are no police officials here helping pedestrians to cross over. A few weeks ago when I came here, the traffic lights were not functioning and they were even falling apart. Today the situation appears to have changed because you can see some work is ongoing. Latrites is here, new poles have been erected for the traffic lights to be fixed, and residents tell me that in a short time they expect the contractors to fix the traffic lights to ease vehicular movement on this particular stretch. Over here at the 3rd footbridge, when you're moving from the Adenta police station headed towards Medina, there is a post or a notice behind us which gives details of the contract awarded to the company to fix the footbridge at this particular point. And so you can see in your background the government of Ghana, the Roads and Highways Ministry, subletting this particular contract to First Sky Limited, which is responsible for fixing this particular footbridge.
Komladum with that report. They will be bringing you more on that in later bulletins. Let's now take you to Jubilee House, where President Akufo-Addo is meeting the 3 eminent chiefs who were tasked to look into the Dagbon chieftaincy crisis. Presidential correspondent Elton John Brobe joins us with details. Meeting started. Elton, if you can hear me, we want to know if the meeting has started. What's going on now?
Well, the president and Jas Antony just walked into the banquet hall of the Jubilee House. The national anthem is being sung, and after that, the event itself was. So it's going to be a very brief event. Otunfo led a group of chiefs. They are 3 in all, and in the last almost 4 years, they've been mediating on this particular subject, finding lasting peace to Dagbon, and then recommend who become the next Ghana. And today they will presenting their report and recommendation to President Akufo-Addo, who is expected to act upon. Chiefs from both gates, Yabudu and Andani, they are all seated. The event itself is just getting underway.
Now, yesterday, some Andanis had a news conference saying that they do not accept this roadmap that the eminent committee has put together. Have you heard any dissent from the chiefs who are present, both the Abudu side and the Andani side?
For now, the content of the document is yet to come out. In the room, we have families from both gates, the Abudu and the Andani, seated in 2 different places. Is there any indication that they will not accept what is being proposed? It will be difficult to answer that question, Daniel, because we are yet to be told what the chiefs came to. And then the recommendation is up to government to implement, and it's up to the families to accept what will be contained in the recommendation that we are yet to be told by the Ashanti.
Thank you, Elton, for joining us. We'll come back to you when we know more. Elton John Brobe is at the presidency. Still watching Joy News today. I am Daniel Daze. We'll take you back to the presidency and join the proceedings.
His vice and all those who have worked assiduously in diverse ways for the realization of these great achievements. Almighty Allah strengthen us in our faith in you to cherish understanding of one another and peaceful coexistence in our dear country, Ghana. O Allah, bless Ghana and make our affairs good now and always. اللهم إنا نشكرك كثيرا باجتماعنا هذا اليوم العظيم. اللهم إنا نسألك أن تنزل السكينة والسلامة علينا. اللهم إني أسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. اللهم مصرف القلوب صرف قلوبنا جميعا على هدى وطاعتك. اللهم لا تجعل مصيبتنا في ديننا ولا تجعل الدنيا أكبر همنا ولا مبلغ علمنا ولا تسلط علينا من لا يرحمنا. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. President, we're gathered here this afternoon of eminent chiefs to present to you and to the nation a roadmap for peace in Dagbon. The Dagbon challenge has existed for decades, but in the last 15 years has been of a peculiar nature. Various heads of state have, in the name of the government of Ghana, supported the peace efforts, and since your assumption of office, you have done so and provided your commitment as well. This morning, we have been informed that there's a roadmap to peace which will be announced here today. I want to very quickly introduce some of the dignitaries who are here with us this morning, and then would invite the eminent chiefs.
We apologize for the poor quality of video there from the presidency. We will be going back there as and when we establish a good connection. Now, the Asokori Mampo Municipal Assembly in the Ashanti region now has bylaws to regulate the operation of passenger and cargo tricycle. Now, what has become known as Mahama Kambu or Adideta and Aboboya have become a main means of commuting in Kumasi and other towns. However, reckless breach of traffic regulations have exposed road users to danger, prompting public outcry. Prince Apia has more in this report.
Among other measures outlawed by the Asokori Mampo Municipal Assembly, riders must be licensed. Defaulters will be liable to a fine not exceeding 70 penalty units or a prison term not exceeding 3 months or both. Stakeholders in the municipality met at a town hall meeting to discuss ongoing government projects and new interventions for members. Municipal Chief Executive Ali Duseidu says operators of the tricycles have become threats and nuisance to road safety.
If you are not up to 18 years and above, you cannot ride a Abubuya, the Pragia within this municipality, as well as the Abubuya. there also, you don't take one person to sit aside you whilst riding. That's what we call the one corner. The law doesn't allow one corner to be added to. Aside that one, you can also use pedestrian walkways to commute. What we're saying is that now Aboboya or the Bragia is taking more than 2 people, 3 people that it takes. Once it takes 3 people, it's now more or less like a car. So when you are in a queue on the road, you should follow the protocol. You don't go on the pedestrian walkway. When we go on the pedestrian walkway, the law will take its own course on you.
The launch of the bylaws means the Assembly will for the first time administer its duties and responsibilities with legislated regulations.
Stop watching Joy News. Today, let's deal with some other stories. And 40 million, that's the number of women and girls around the world who cannot afford sanitary products during menstruation, according to a Bergen Project report. 16-year-old Mikaris Seidu, a head porter at Newtown here in Accra, is one of such girls experiencing period poverty. Earning barely enough to feed or clothe herself, Seidu tells Joy News' Faustina Safo she is sometimes forced to beg for alms during menstruation to buy sanitary pads.
17-year-old Mikaris Seidu migrated more than 600 kilometers from the northern region of Ghana to Accra in search of greener pastures. She just completed junior high school and was hoping to make some money to further her education. But upon arrival, reality dealt her a big blow. Life in the city was tougher than she ever imagined.
We came here, we are not getting money. Even a day, you can just walk and you will not even get even 1 street to go and bath. Sometimes even the money that you even get and buy pure water and drink is a problem for us.
Seidu has no roof over her head. At night, the cold bare floor becomes her bed. As a head porter, she barely makes enough money to feed. During menstruation, Seidu is forced to beg for alms to buy sanitary products. She tells me there are days when she's had to use toilet rolls and worn-out clothes as pad.
It may be that you get your menstruation, you won't get money and buy pad. Me, like example, I always use 3 pad a month. If you are going to buy pad and 3 and you are not getting money, the money.
We interrupt that story to take you now to the presidency, where Otumfuo Oseitis II, who chaired the Eminence Committee sitting on the Dagbon dispute, is now addressing the gathering.
And that they do qualify to contest the gate schemes of Mion, Karaga, and Saviligo, which decision the eminent kings and all the parties accept. The Supreme Court decided further that only occupants of the schemes of Mion, Karaga, and Saviligo can aspire to and occupy the NAMship. The report of the Reconciliation Committee established to give effect to the Supreme Court judgment and the agreements and undertakings agreed to by all the parties who were signatories to the agreement. The fact that Nama Hamadu died when he was no longer in office as Yana, the unfortunate incidents of March 2002 leading to the death of Nai Yakubu Andani and some of his and the need for coding burial in accordance with their own custom and tradition.
Apologies once again for the poor video quality. Expect more on that story in later bulletins. Now, 6 persons made up of 3 men and 3 women on board a Matisse cab have been confirmed dead in a horrific accident along the Techiman-Sunyanis road. A Metro Mass Transit DAF Neoplan bus traveling from Techiman towards Sunyani collided head-on with the Matisse cab, killing 5 persons instantly. The 6th passenger is said to have died at the Valley View Hospital in Techiman. Let's get onto the phone lines and speak with our correspondent in Techiman for more, Anas Sabit. Anas, good afternoon. Right, before we go to Anas Sabit, the police has been speaking on the matter. Let's hear them.
We gathered from the ground is that on Monday, about 3:30, it was drizzling, and the Metro Mass Transit bus was commuting from Hamley through Techimai towards Sunyani. The taxi cab was also coming from the Sunyani direction towards Techimai. And according to a few people who were in the bus veered off its lane and crashed head-on with the taxi, dragged the taxi until the taxi landed in a gutter, and then finally the bus rested on the taxi. Before we got there, onlookers were able to rescue one person who sustained serious injuries and rushed the person to the Valley View Hospital, Techimai. And then we got there and brought out 5 dead bodies from the taxi. Yesterday, around this time, we got information from the Valley View Hospital that that one that was rescued and sent to that hospital also died. So in all, 6 people died in that accident from the taxi cab. But for the Metro Mass Transit bus, we did not get any report from anyone who even sustained injuries. For now, as I said, we are trying to get in touch with our colleagues from the DVLA who have examined the vehicle to tell us what could have been the problem prior to the accident. Okay. And then we talk to witnesses and then also see what could be the reason behind the accident. And after everything, we forward the docket to the Attorney General's office for advice. Yeah, we do not know for now. Okay. It's so because we've not been able to get people who actually witnessed the accident to talk to. And then, as I said, we are still waiting for the DVLA to give us their technical advice.
You're still watching Joy News today with me, Daniel Dazi. Unfortunately, we're unable to reach Anas Sabit now. Expect that update in later bulletins. It's now time for business with Emmanuel Abwajiwiafi. Stay.